So can it be realised? Let's speak to Jamie Driscoll, who's the Labour Metro Mayor for the North of Tyne. Joins us now from Newcastle. Good morning to you, Mr Driscoll. What do you think? In 5 years' time, will there be a plant on that site?
We will see industry develop there, yes. It is the best site in the country because it's an old power station. If you're going to build batteries, you actually need a huge electricity supply, and that requires heavy infrastructure like the power cables, and they're already there. It's got the interconnector to Norway, bringing in huge amounts of cheap energy, and it's right by the port side, which we've been investing in heavily. But it is disappointing. If you've been working with BritishVolt, you're going to have lost your job in the middle of a cost of living crisis. I think it's worth pointing out that actually a lot of the BritishVolt jobs are currently in the West Midlands in their research and development facility. There haven't been that many jobs in the North East. The factory's not built yet. And in Blythe itself, as part of the North of Tyne with the local council, we've been investing there. We've just got the Sophia wind farms being built there. I was in Blythe on Monday. We've just landed JDR cables. They're making a lot of offshore wind. So it's more that I'm worried about the effect for the British car industry. There's about 180,000 people employed in that. As we move to electrification, unless we have battery manufacturing in this country, that industry is going to go and disappear over time.
We saw some figures out at the beginning of the week about car sales and how electric car sales had increased dramatically, like far more quickly than anybody was expecting even a year ago. So that means we're going to need that infrastructure, aren't we, to keep the industry going in the future?
Well, we absolutely are. Now, in the northeast, just a few miles south of the River Tyne, near Sunderland, we have the new Envision factory being built. So there will be one gigafactory in Britain. That's going to be supplying Nissan. But as I say, the UK government was been promising levelling up, and cross-party, you won't find anybody in the northeast who is happy with the way the government has conducted this. If we look at, obviously, big names like Tesla, well, Tesla got £500 million in startup loans and $1.3 billion to build their factory in Nevada. If you want to develop new industries quickly, you're going to need government support these days. And what's the British government put into BritishVolt? Zero, not a single penny. So if we are serious about manufacturing this country, about taking any kind of advantage from Brexit where we can set our own rules, then the government needs to step up on that. And to walk away and say that, well, someone should just come along with $3-4 billion to build something from scratch to just even catch up with Europe, that's not an industrial strategy. So this is not levelling up.
But if the government had poured in tens of millions of pounds, kind of no questions, and then this had happened, there'd be criticism of waste and making a big mistake.
Well, actually, I was working with BritishVolt. I spoke to BritishVolt on Friday. Myself and local MPs, you've had Ian Lavery on, you've had Glenn Sanderson from Northumberland Council on there. We were all involved with lobbying government because there was an investor lined up who, if the government had advanced 30 million, that investor would have underwritten that, and had the project failed, they would have repaid the British government, but it would have levered in another couple of £100 million. So that's actually not true when you get down into the details of it. The government could have supported this. And by the way, investment in industry, you get most of it back in income tax from the workers fairly quickly anyway. It's just a lack of investment, a lack of strategy from the government. And that's what we've been struggling with for a long, long time in the northeast and large parts of the country as well. Yet we're on creating the jobs. So as North of Tyne Mayor, my authority, we've created about 4,600 jobs in the past few years. The northeast was the #1 region for inward investment job creation last year. We know what we're doing. What we want is just the firepower to do this on a bigger scale, because it affects the whole of Britain.
Jamie Driscoll, North of Tyne Mayor, thanks for joining us on Breakfast. The Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy in Whitehall gave us a statement saying the government is hopeful, stays hopeful, that BritishVolt can find a suitable investor, and they say that's disappointed to hear that has not so far been possible.